In a previous video, I mentioned that I would take apart a board, and I haven't really made good on that yet, which is why I intend to make good on it today. I have a modded Skyloong Epomaker GK87S for you. We're going to be doing something different by diving into the internals of it so I can show you what I've done and what you can do with a little bit of creativity. Join me, my fellow keyboard warriors, as I show you the power that modifications can have on something so cheap and so simple. The Skyloong Epomaker GK87S is a wireless 10 keyless hot swap plate mounted keyboard, and you can snag it on Amazon for 85 bucks. It's a bit bulky, but it's constructed very well, as Epomakers tend to be. It weighs in at a pleasant 2.16 pounds before switches and caps. The GK87S is a hot swap board, which means you can freely remove and insert switches as you please without any soldering even while it's plugged into your computer. They come in white and black flavors, along with a non-Bluetooth version named the GK87. The keyboard's case is made out of ABS plastic, which helps with its tough construction. The mounting plate is made out of steel, and the board has plate-mounted stabilizers which come pre-lubed, and in the case of my board, over-lubed. Epomaker initially started as a company like the ones alongside it, making hot swap DIY kits and selling them on Amazon in their own storefront. A lot of companies use the same parts, so it's not uncommon to see a board of the same top or bottom case, or even the same exact unit, just with different stickers. Today, Epomaker offers everything you need to get started. They sell DIY boards in various sizes and designs, keycaps, switches, and they even hold group buys. Some of the keycap sets they have are really cool, like this one. I'm a slut for pastel colors and simple self-referential design like this. This is plastic, as opposed to what, crystal meth? Jesse! Epomaker is also a distributor for Gateron, Akko, Taxi, Cherry, Kali, Ajaz, and Everglide switches. I have Halo True tactile switches loaded in here. I used them previously for a commission that I did, and I kind of fell in love with them, so I had to have some for myself. I didn't lube these because I'd rather not set 3 hours of my day aside to do that. It's tedious and time consuming, and I would rather kill myself. The reason why I want these lubed is because there's a slight hint of spring ping when you type on them. The switchers are smooth out of the box, so the only thing you'd be getting rid of here would be the ping from the spring inside of the housing if you decide to lube them. I've done a couple of mods to this piece, and instead of talking to you about them as a disembodied voice, I thought you could hear and see me talk about this board as disembodied hands. Alright, all 87 Halo True switches are out of this thing, and look at those beautiful switches. Those are some beautiful switches. I love these things. Alright, so first thing we're going to want to do is you're going to want to break out your trusty iFixit toolkit, not sponsored by the way, but if you want to, that'd be fantastic. Grab that, and extra, artillery with this. Do I need one of those? No, I don't need one of those. I need one of these. So you're going to need this guy, because of how I have it packed down in here. I'm just going to throw the rest of that on the floor. And you get out your Phillips bit, move that over to the side right there, and hit your mouse in the process. Take a sip of coffee. Grab this. This is a little plastic screw tray that I like to use. So we can just start by dropping the fucking screwdriver. We can start by taking these screws out. Just kind of dropping them in these little compartments here. Now once you have all of, how many are there? Wait, 4, 5, 6, 8 screws out of the front, turn this thing over, and then you're going to want to take that one screw out in the back right there. And now we can separate this. What the fuck am I missing? I literally opened this up. What am I missing? Unless I'm like stupid. I think I just might be stupid. So the reason why I brought this metal thing out is because of the fact that once you get the screws out, you now have these little plastic clips that are in place, and you gotta take those out. Just get right up under the seam of the plastic. I'm doing a terrible job at holding this in front of you. And then you just want to pry up, which then will force open the top case. And then you can just keep moving around the edge like this, and prying that top case open. I'm opening this in a very not ginger way, so if you see plastic pieces flying across the floor or the desk, that's normal, and that's because I actually opened this up like a fucking dumbass last time I did this. So it's not good. Not to mention the fact that there is a gigantic foam insert in the bottom of this case. I have to basically keep this thing compressed so I can actually get it the fuck closed. Here's our top case, which we can just move. Here is our mounting plate. Probably can't even hear that. These stabilizers are clipped into the plate, which means they are plate-mounted stabilizers as opposed to PCB-mounted stabilizers, which screw right into the PCB, which is what we have here. So, we actually get to take a look at the work that I've done on this guy. There ain't much here. Oh. So I actually have a GK87S. I didn't even know. I thought this was just the normal GK87. Whatever. I don't use Bluetooth for this shit anyway, so we got the PCB here. We can kind of just take this out. I need to get in here, and you have two small cables that are holding it down. That is the microcontroller in there next to the lithium-ion battery. What you need to do is just ever so gently disconnect these. This is our PCB. So if you look right here on the PCB, you see K93, you see K94 and K91. And the funny thing is that the top case actually covers up those three sockets. So I'm not sure what's supposed to be going on here, but I mean, if you really wanted to get, 3 extra buttons, you could easily just cut this off and do it that way. But I'm insane, but I'm not that insane. I got creative one day and I made this foam insert. This is like packing foam. I think it's packing foam from my work that I just stole, and then I duct taped over it so then I could make a little insert, and then I cut a hole in it to feed the wires through. Wrapping this in duct tape doesn't actually do anything really for you. It's mainly just the fact that I could easily, take it in and out should I want to, because this was mostly an experiment, and I'm like, well, if I keep it in there, I can easily remove it, and if I don't want it in there, I can easily remove it. Figured that was the logic behind spending the 15 minutes to make this weird jank contraption. Get this back in there. And then we can also take a look at the back of the PCB because I have this taped off. I mentioned in the Talkie custom video that taping a PCB off is something that you can do, and that's what I did here. I cut 2 little holes for where those cables go, but I literally just took masking tape and just on the back of this thing, and it works. It actually does help deaden some of the sound, and having, this, foam be here, which helps absorb it as well, that is a good thing. You could probably do some more stuff to this, other than what I've done. There is one more thing that I have done to this, but that's not, I wouldn't consider that a typical modification. So with the mounting plate, and I mentioned earlier that these screwbalizers, if we're gonna call PCB mount stabilizers, we gotta be calling them screwbalizers, because that's what you have to do. So these ones aren't screwbalizers, these are clip-in stabilizers. They clip into this mounting plate, which is where the switch actually clips into like this and stays there. But you can actually see how it just clips in there. It clips in pretty well, but since it's not attached to the PCB, I can kind of just push it through anyway. But what I did was I actually cleaned out all of the stock lube from these stabilizers, and I lubed them myself, because these do tend to come over lubed on occasion. It's not every single one of these. I've had GK61s that are like totally fine, but the way that this one was looking when I pulled it out of the box, it was fucking oozing up around here, like near where the tops are. It was just kind of gross, so I fixed that as well. I don't have the equipment on me to do any sort of anything crazy like a silicone pour in the bottom of the case like the Talkie custom guy did, but I think if I were to get my hands on some liquid silicone, I most definitely would do this. So we are now going to put this back together. That actually went down easier than the first time I reassembled this. Okay, fine. Works for me. But let's get the switches back in. Actually, except we're not going to put the switches back in because I forgot to put the screws back. Oop, drop the fucking thing, why don't I? Promise I like your products, Epomaker, I swear. I pinky promise I do. I love this thing. I'm just a fucking moron. Oh, come on. Fucking screw fell. in the switch socket. That's annoying. You little bitch. Can I pick it out with this? Shit. I actually done fucked up on this one. Only fucking me, dude. Only fucking me. Let's try this, like, very tiny flathead. Actually, no. You know what? It took me a solid 5 minutes to remember that I actually have a pair of nice tweezers. Just grab it and pull it out like that. Ah, come on, Epomaker, the screws aren't magnetic. It happened again! Now we can get the switches back installed. I hope you all know that I am actually going to coin the term screwbalizers now. Screw-in stabilizers. Screwbalizers. It just makes sense. I've actually been recording this for 19 minutes up to this point, but I already know it's going to get sped up to like 5 or 6 in the actual video. Alright, that took a while, and now I need to do something even more time-consuming because I don't know where half of the fucking keys go. Alright, so we just gotta clean up our workspace now. I forgot to hook the fucking cables back up inside of the keyboard. Son of a bitch. God damn it. Get the fucking toolkit out again. Pull all the caps off. I did not plan that. That is an actual live blunder. I did not plan that. Ugh. Okay. Still can't believe I set this whole fucking thing up just to have to go back in there. I sure fucking hope that you got a fucking laugh out of that. You better have gotten a laugh out of me having to disassemble and then reassemble this a second time. Alright. Remember last time I was doing this and I said the recording was like 30 or something minutes? It's now at 46 minutes and counting. And I'm eating them fucking words right now. Last but not least, Mr. Flying Across the Room looking ass over here. Alright, so, cap time. Look at that.
Differently now, you can't fuck with me. I'm all militant and making sure they know me. Know about me, study up, get respectful when quoting me. Talk about me with your chest up and your soul in it. Taking souls like death, my hoodies give the same energy. Got that from his weapon like I'm Dante in Inferno. In infirmaries, I put him in infirmaries. Yo, fuck with me, get permadeath, ain't coming back, that short to be. Flexing ain't too big on that cause it speaks for itself. That's why you never see me crying on social media shells. Watch my back and all my fronts are missing cause I never lie. Shit is always ready to pop like 4th of July. I ain't American, keep up with the best of them, no. It's all relative, especially when families are that you know. Is it better to hold on to some emotions or some dough?
Many things stunted my growth when I was growing up, but nothing stunted it more when I was an impressionable teenager than MW2. Modern Warfare 2 is coming in October of this year, and I have a good feeling about it, so I'm pre-gaming with the old ones before it comes out. I game with noise-canceling headphones, so I can't exactly hear the thing while I use it, but I can assure you through the noise-canceling headphones it still sounds pretty nice. The switches are tactile, which means that I can feel when the key triggers without an audible click, like in clicky switches. The Halo True feels like a good balance between MX Browns and Collie Cream Blueberries. Browns feel like there isn't a bump half the time, and the Blueberries feel like I'm driving and I just hit a pedestrian. Halo Trues find a nice middle ground in terms of how pronounced that bump is. The bump does exist, and it's not jarring. The only gripe about this that I have is the front angle of the case. The way my wrists sit up against this thing requires that I use a wrist rest, or else my wrists really start to hurt. Other than that though, the GK87 is a fantastic piece of kit for whatever you need to do with it. You heard a small snippet of what this thing sounded like before, but now it is time for the real deal sound test. The board is weird. It's not perfect, but I really like the way it sounds. As I've been saying pretty much this entire time, the GK87 is a wonderful piece of kit. You don't need to void your warranty like I did, but if you want to, you know where the screw is. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. You guys keep me really busy, and I deeply appreciate that as well. As always, I'll be around next time. Take care. There's a cat in the room.